I was on my deathbed due to COVID-19, working here at the SABC. Now you are telling me that my position is no longer available. You are changing my position without negotiating with me.
An impassioned plea to management by workers who have been on the front line, putting their lives on the line. They are calling on management to work with the unions to find an amicable solution to this impasse.
We are demanding that we must discuss a structure, because when you discuss a structure, that's where you're going to come up with alternatives. What are those alternatives in our view? First, we've made a call about skills audit committee. We need to analyze who has a what skill and who doesn't have a particular skill, so that when we talk about reskilling of our workers, we know exactly what we are talking about. The second point, when we talk of moving into online content digitalization, our journalists trained properly to compete in that space, because we know we are best journalists here at SABC. What we need to do is to empower them on the technology side so that they continue to make SABC relevant in that space.
While management has maintained that the retrenchment process is necessary to make the organization financially sustainable, staff are convinced that the restructuring process will compromise the organization's public broadcasting mandate.
At some point in time, you have to take a position, and a principled position, not looking after yourself. This is what we are doing. And I can guarantee, I never engage in a struggle that I lose. Never.
We are going to sit here every day, every minute, until we get a resolution that works for us. Amanda!
We're calling on our members, the ones that are sitting in the offices. We are disappointed that they're sitting in the offices while we're trying to fight for bread and butter issues. It's a principal issue. Everybody's affected. We're calling on the managers. We're calling on the freelancers. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock, come outside. The strike continues.
Staff members at the SABC Durban office believe that the new structure will kill indigenous languages if employees are retrenched. They say people in rural areas won't have a voice and their stories won't be told, especially during the upcoming 2021 local government elections. In the Eastern Cape, the SABC strike continued at the broadcaster's office in Port Elizabeth. Members of the Communication Workers Union, joined by Azapo, picketed outside the SABC premises. Staffers have vowed to continue fighting for their jobs. Nozintombi Mia, SABC News.
Meanwhile, unions and staff at the SABC are anxiously waiting to hear Communications Minister Ndabeni-Abrahams' expected announcement today on possibly averting looming retrenchments at the public broadcaster. It follows Ndabeni-Abrahams' meeting with Labour Minister Thulas Nxesi, the unions and the SABC board yesterday. However, the Communications Workers Union, CWU, says it will continue with lunchtime pickets, while the Broadcasting Electronic Media and Allied Workers Union, BEMAWU, has vowed to proceed with seeking an urgent interdict from the Labour Court. Ndabeni-Abrahams has described the meeting as productive. The Congress of the People has spoken out against the SABC Section 189 retrenchment process. COPE is calling on all political parties, civil society, religious organizations and sporting bodies to unite and intensify pressure on the SABC board and executive to stop the process and retract redundancy letters issued to staff. 400 permanent staff will be affected by the retrenchments. On the line now to speak to us on their position is COPE spokesperson Dennis Bloom. Mr. Bloom, a very good morning and thank you so much for making the time.
Good morning, Desiree, and good morning to the viewers. Thank you very much for having us.
With regards to stopping the retrenchments, what alternatives are COPE offering to deter the process?
You know, we are saying we will never accept this issue of retrenchment. You know, the SABC must hang their heads in shame. To have such loyal, disciplined, committed, hard-working staff workers of the SABC, and now they are treating them as trash. We cannot accept that. You know, during this COVID-19, the workers of SABC were on their post. We were not short of news in the country because they have put their own lives in danger. Today they are nothing. It is very painful. We will never accept that. We will fight up until this retrenchment story must come to an end. We are calling on all people of South Africa, political parties inside Parliament, outside Parliament, religious organizations, race-based organizations, everybody to rally around the SABC workers. It's not only the SABC workers who's going to lose their job, but all of us are going to feel the impact of this 400 that must go. We are saying it must stop. We are not, we will campaign. We will mobilize society against this retrenchment issue. We will never allow that to happen.
You know, there have been concerns. So for you, to what extent is all the political involvement bordering on interfering in the running of the SABC?
Desiree, this is our public broadcaster. I want to repeat it. It is our public broadcaster. It has nothing to do with politics. It has to do in saving our public broadcaster. When we are talking, we are paying a TV licenses. We are not interfering when we are paying TV license. We are contributing to the well-being of the SABC. The SABC workers is our brothers and sisters. We cannot keep quiet when they are losing their jobs. It is nothing to do with a political interference. It has to do with saving the jobs of our people, saving our public broadcaster. You see, it's a South African Broadcasting Corporation. It's ours. It does not belong to anybody but to the public.
So are there alternative measures being proposed by all the stakeholders sustainable in terms of sustainability for the broadcaster?
Generally, I have said that if this government can bail out SAA, putting a lot of money in SAA, SAA does not benefit the entire public or the entire people of the country. But SAA, SABC, we are benefiting because even the rural people, the farm people, workers and farm owners are enjoying. If you don't have radio news in a rural area, you are cut off from society. Now we are saying government must step up. They must come and also give money like they are doing to, because it's rich people who's going to benefit from SAA and not poor people. Here in SABC, the majority is poor people who is going to suffer. That's why we are saying government, the president, President Cyril Ramaphosa, must not keep quiet. The Minister of Communication must not keep quiet. We want to hear their voice. We want to hear what they are going to say and do to save the jobs of our people. These people are our people. It is not strangers. We will fight up until this thing comes to an end.
So everyone is awaiting an announcement by the Minister of Communications in terms of her interaction with the Minister of Labour and the SABC board and Labour at the SABC. Do you know what we can expect her to say?
We are expecting, we have called last week on the Minister of Communication to say, please come up with a solution. We don't want to see one worker of the SABC must lose their jobs. We hope that when she talk to the people today, she must come with a positive message from whoever, from the president, from cabinet, or from whoever. We don't want to hear negative things when she is talking, and we don't want to hear promises. We want to hear that they have scrapped retrenchment. No more retrenchment. That's all that we want to hear as the Congress of the People.
Let's thank you for your time.
You are welcome, Desiree. Thank you.
Mr. Bloom is the spokesperson for COPE. Now, government's interministerial